welcome back to another episode of Art Survival Evolved. Today we're going to be talking about tanky dinos. We're going to figure out today which dinosaurs take the most melee damage from either a person or a dino, and as well as find out which dinos take the most bullet damage. So we can find out which ones are best to tank bullets, which ones are best to tank dinos, if you had to tank that kind of stuff. We're going to find all that out in this video. Alright guys, so I have every dino that I felt did not take an extensive amount of time to tame, or when I say extensive amount of time, unreasonable reasons to tame. There is no Spino here, for example, because it is so hard to tame, because you have to stay on it. You can't walk away from it like you can, let's say, like the Rex right there. The Rex is a lot easier to tame, so he's on the list. There is no Titan. We do have the Giga just for its health stat. I'm going to go ahead and look at that as well. And we have the unforgettable Stego here, who is the best bullet soaker currently in the game, from what I understand. And we've got a lot here going on. And what we're going to do is test all these guys to see who can soak damage better. We're just going to shoot them probably once or twice to see what kind of damage they take. And we're also going to see what we can match out their health pools to. So that's what we're looking at here. You can see the Giga will soak a good amount. The Rock Element will too. The Bronto will probably soak a good amount, but we're going to find all that out. Alright guys, so I have all the most realistic dinos to tame for tankiness here. Some of them are probably on the farther end of not as so realistic, but you can see they're all level 1. They've been brought in, and they all do have their XP. Some of these are like the wolves here, which get their tankiness from being together in a group because they don't have a saddle. Other dinos like the Giga automatically start out with a very good health pool, but they don't increase very well later on, so we have him as well. We have the Rock Golem, who already has a decent pool of himself. Bronto, the Rex, and we get a few others like the Dillo, and unfortunately I could not ride the Dillo, so the Dillo is going to have no XP boost like the rest of these do. The rest of these guys are leveled, ready to level up to max level, but I wanted to show all these guys were level 1, and so we're taming on base rates, and we're going to pump their health up to see exactly how much they all have. So, alright, we're going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll bring you all back. Alright guys, now that we're back, you can see they're all bloody. They're all not going to be at full health in this battle. I say battle, but the term will probably be more or less just stand there and get shot and see how much damage you take. What I can say is certain dinos definitely do not scale well, while the Rock Golem scales very, very well, and so does the Diplo. And the Bronto doesn't scale too bad for himself, but unfortunately the Diplo does kind of win out ahead in the end. What I've noticed was basically that both those guys, they scale very well, unlike some of the others like the Giga here, who had 17,000 health started out, and because I pumped the health, he only went up to 462. That was his max health. So he really did not get much, but he has a very high base in the beginning, so that's a very good factor of its own. And basically anyone with a very high base probably scaled really well, but if it did not scale very well, it's more than likely not going to survive at a higher level than. What you'll notice is at a higher level, these dinos are going to have a much more varied stat. You're going to see a lot more health move in certain dinos. Like what can happen with this Rex is a high health Rex can move his health 5, sometimes 6, 800 points of health if he's got really good health stat. While a low crappy Rex here, where 69 points hardly moved his health up to 5,000 from the, I think 500 was what it was, or maybe 800. It did not have much health, but it did not move it near as far as you would get out of the 69 points or the 68 points that you would get from a 150 who's already got health stat points applied to them. So that is one big factor that you do have to realize. A good health dino right off the bat, if you start leveling them in health, will get more health than what a low-level health dino will. So low-level trites, anything like that you tamed, they'll never be as good. Alright guys, so I want to go over one other thing before we started the event. I'm waiting on Vapetrain to get on, so I figured I would go over a few things. Some things you do want to consider about these dinos is also their abilities of their own. Certain dinos like the Kentro here, when it gets bit, is going to cause a reflective damage. So as a tank dino, for bullets maybe not so well, but as tanking damage from an enemy attack, might be very good to have one of these guys, provided you could level it, of course. Seeing as you can't ride it, then that makes it very hard to level it, but you never know. Maybe you have a very good way about leveling these things. So if you do have a very good way about leveling these guys, maybe you mass produce stuff and have a Listro next to you, and there's a whole way to get these guys to level up, pump every point to health, so they can be really, really tanky. I don't know if melee has any effect on whether or not they have a reflective damage, but if it does, find a good balance between the two. Again, this is another guy I've never, ever tamed, but I definitely know that the reflective damage is normally based upon the enemy attack to the damage that you actually that you receive. So if you inflict 100 damage, you receive so much percentage of that 100. If you do 200, 300, 400, your damage that you receive is 200, 300, 400 times what it already was as a reflection. Then you've also got guys like this guy right here, the Arthropleura, who again, as you bite him, you hurt yourself. You can see he can tank a fair amount, but he's actually kind of weak at this low level. They're all level 1s, of course, again, just to make sure that point is there. They're not level 69s because they came out that way. They are level 1s because that's how they were tamed in the first place, and then 69 points, or 68 points added. Then you've got other dinosaurs like this guy right here, whose plates seem to protect him. Basically, we're going to test to see if the plates protect him, and also if the side body absorbs more damage from bullets, or basically does he receive more if he gets shot in the side. Brontos, obviously, they're just massive tanks in themselves. They don't receive any less damage from anywhere in the face or anything. Shooting them in the face doesn't do any more. Same as shooting them in the body. Some of these other dinos, shooting them in the face will do that for you, though. Then we're going to also go ahead and we're going to move over to things like the Dode. The Dode has that ability to roll up, so he does absorb a good amount of damage, but then he rolls up and then I think drops to 10% damage. So he's going to have his own health factor in itself, so we're going to have to test that to a very good extreme. This guy right here, the Carbony, he automatically has a good armor area, but he has to be shot in the good armor area. So what we're going to do with him is we're actually just going to literally just shoot him in the armor area, because that's what you're hoping he gets shot by, and not his legs or something like that where he really takes a lot of damage. That's the whole hope, at least, when you fight with turrets or anything like that. Then you're going to see something like the Trike. We're going to test this guy's head as well as his body to see the difference. I'm pretty sure the body is going to give you the same stats as if you were riding the Bronto, but the head is going to heavily reduce that damage. We're going to see how much he can absorb in that case. Then we're going to go ahead and do the same with the Packy here. The Packy, I don't think his head protects him as much, but if it does protect, we're going to definitely try it out. And we're also going to shoot it in the side to see if that does any difference. And then you've got probably your rock golem here. According to Vape, he says they reduce damage from bullet fire. We're going to find out, because you'll be able to tell from the other guys to this guy. The Giga, obviously high health in the first place, but he doesn't scale very well in the second place. So having a good Giga is going to be just kind of a... And would you want to use him as a tank? It's a question of whether or not he's a good Giga. And if he's a good Giga, I don't know if you want to use him as a tank unless you have hundreds of them. Then you're just going to have your regular dinos like Rexes and Diplos. Again, very good tank. And your melee Rex, that maybe, is he a good tank? Well, so far from his health pumping, he looked like he'd actually be a fairly good tank. I mean, there's still definitely better ones, like the Diplo is a better tank than he is, but we're going to factor that in. And then you've also got wolves here who have the breeding setting, not the breeding, the pack buff and everything. So we're going to also take the alpha buff, as well as just a pat buff, because maybe the alpha's not even getting shot. Maybe it's his buddy right here. So all these guys running in, see how much damage they take and how much, and then we'll do the math and figure out exactly how many bullets they can survive. Alright guys, Vapetrain has arrived, but apparently he's glitching out bigger than crap on top of his dragon. Need some help, Vapetrain?
No, I was just telling it to be passive, so it wasn't going to try to eat your face.
It's a good thing I didn't punch the dragon then.
Yeah,
I forgot
exactly.
we're not allied still, so that's actually perfect, honestly, that we didn't fix that the other day. So, alright, here you go. Nice assault rifle with about the same stats as what an auto turret would be, and some bullets. You can take all that home when it's done, so if it breaks, it's yours. If it doesn't break, it's still yours.
Sounds good to me.
So, your incentive probably not to shoot it so much, but it's up to you. Alright. So, what Vapetrain is going to do, he's going to go around and shoot all these guys, because when I shoot them, I don't get the rolling counter, but he will. And so he's going to go ahead and go down the line. He's going to shoot these guys. So, which guy are you going to go ahead and shoot first?
I don't know. Up to you, man. You're the one with the plan here.
Alright, let's go start off with our test. I mean, like our baseline reading. Let's shoot the Dillo in the face. Or shoot him in the body, then shoot him in the face.
Okay.
100 damage. Oh, that's nice. Right off the bat, 100. Oh, yeah. Feels good, don't it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Alright, so that guy there, and then shoot him in the body. Alright, does he take face damage? No, no face damage. If you don't want to kill him, you don't have to. You always kill him and eat him with the dragon later. Alright, don't shoot the guys in the back. Shoot these wolves up here.
Okay, I'll start with the non...
Not the wolves in the back, these over here. The reason why these are pack buffed, and this is the one I want you to... This is the pack guy, and this is the other one. Because these guys, if you're going to fight with them, they're going to come in a pack. I would hope you'd send them in a pack. Alright, so 57 on him. And 144 on the head. 76. And that's mate boosted and everything, 192. Alright,
Yeah.
so... Alright, you can move on to the next guy right here if you want. Just move down the line. Another face shot damage guy, although he only doubled. That's weird. And the Giga. You sure you want to shoot him?
Huh, I don't care about shooting gigas, man.
So
Nothing there.
they're all pretty tanky, just about the same. It looks like, oh, the rock golem's not taking much damage. Alright, so that's pretty cool. He's got a
Wait.
what?
Major shot, major shot.
Oh, crotch shot.
Yeah, he's definitely wearing a cup.
Alright, so that's good information right there. 100 again. I don't think Diplos take head damage.
Apparently not.
I don't think Rexes do either because of their big fat head.
Nope, same damage across the board.
Alright, and so now we got this back row here, the Packy Rhino. Oh!
Yeah, major reduction on that one. Up, I actually have to reload.
Okay, so basically the same thing but bigger head, so that's kind of neat.
Yep. Body on Carno. Head on Carno. So, I know with the turtle, there's different levels for a lot of this, so we're
Shoot
might
him
have
on
to
the
look at this.
hard part of the shell, basically where he'd
Okay.
get hit, the hardest part he would have.
Okay, so hardest part. Boom.
20 reduction.
Headshot. Boom. Leg. And then tail. You see that? It takes different damage on multiple spots on the turtle's body.
Yeah, I've always noticed that about them. Alright, and this guy right here, get him to roll up into a ball, so you're going to shoot him a little bit.
Double checking all the angles here.
And he's got some health right now. Alright, so as soon as he rolls up, he becomes 15 points. And this is all before
Yeah.
saddle. Alright, and then our sleepy guy right here. He was mainly for health check, not so much for the other portion of it, but...
So
Oh, he's
you
taking
gotta watch
more
your...
because he's away. Oh.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. During the daytime, megas, they take more damage.
I wonder about nighttime. We can set it tonight real quick.
And if you want to, do it. Pretty sure Adeptus want to disagree.
He got the daytime boosted early anyway.
It's not like you can't pop it back right afterwards.
Alright. There we go.
Give him a second to wake up on his own accord. Oh, well, that works too.
Okay, so he just gets like a slight damage buff, but otherwise he's still wimpy as fuck.
Alright, Ankleo, back shot, headshot, cloaca shot. Pretty well enforced.
Alright, and I think the Stego got that. You have to shoot the thing. Oh wow, anywhere really?
So, side, 15, head, 168, 15. Underbelly. Yeah,
Oh, wow,
all
I
over his body.
That's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I could understand the armor on top, but the side, that's just that definitely
Yeah.
needs that hard nerf that they were talking about.
Yep. All right. So Arthropleura, let's shoot just for the body. 251 on the head. Oh, blinded. I can't say.
So you start spraying the gun everywhere and shooting everything. All right,
Yeah,
and you just
that's
got the
about
Bronto here. Yep. So just another tank, basically, of regular health stats.
Could have swore I thought for the longest time that the Brontos had a headshot, but they don't.
Yep. Yeah, no headshot. Now, what was funny is the Diplo actually gets more health in the end than the Bronto does.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a better tank than the Bronto, and granted, you got to passive tame it, but this guy's not hard himself, so I don't know. I would say
Man, Diplos are the unsung heroes of Ark, because they really are great, and people just don't want to give them the credit.
who would want to give him the credit? So you want to kill all these guys?
Yep, I'm hopping on Thor. You might want to get out of the way.
All right. So just a quick question: who would you say probably would be the easier ones to tame here? I've already kind of got my pick. The Bronto's probably one of the easiest ones to tame, as well as the Giga and the Rex, and the Diplo's easy, obviously, but those are
So
kind of my picks.
I would definitely say the Bronto just on the basis of increased taming, like for certain servers or during tame events on the official servers. Those Brontos, even low level ones, you can just knock them out and then just go ahead and
Forget
pop
about them,
berries in them
basically.
and they're done. Yeah. Especially when it comes to a max level, they, on a high increased server or anything like that, they still only take like an hour on kibble. Like, they're not that bad. But at the same time, judging by the fact that the Stego is not exactly taking that much damage, I'd probably go with the Stego. I
Sure.
mean, they've got a pretty high headshot, so you can knock them out quicker, and I mean, you just tame those.
Alright guys, so you can see on the screen here, several of these dinos did not get stats, such as the Iguanodon right here, who has absolutely none. I did fail to actually get his full stats, so I couldn't really do much, but he wasn't going to be a very good tank anyway, so we can kind of strike him from the record. Same thing with the Dillo and the Kentro. The Kentro itself probably could have had a good stat if you could ride it and actually get it leveled, but it's not going to be a real good tank if you can't get it leveled. And so that kind of does hurt that. The Dillo, the idea from the Dillo was that you would have a horde of these guys since they're so easy to tame and use them as cannon fodder. Well, that's not the case, unfortunately, because even a low level would only have 130. I mean, maybe if you tamed a good number of high levels, but that's a lot of high levels to tame. So I'm kind of against using the Dillo in that case. So what you're kind of left with is what you're seeing right over here. These are the stats on the bullets, how many bullets they all take. And these are all its health stats. The left side and the left side's all health, and the right side is all the bullet stats. So, what you can see is, like, the Bronto takes 75 bullets, and that's rounding off. Now, this is a round number, seeing as my assault rifle was not exactly the strength of an auto turret, and so the damage can be a little off, so these numbers might be a little less. I believe they're going to be a little less, but you also have to remember there will be saddles on your dinos versus these are non-saddled dinos, so you also have to take into account to those that there will be saddles on some of these dinosaurs to absorb some of that damage, and that these guys will have a much higher tankiness, but you can basically get your rough estimates from here about the damage, how much they take, and then add your saddle percentage reduction. And you can see certain dinos definitely take more. Obviously, Bronto is just a full-on tank. The Arthropleura is another just full-on tank, but he does have that reflective damage during melee combat. Stego, again, well, in the Stego, apparently he takes 31. I feel like that math was wrong. Oh yeah, that math was so wrong there. I forgot to do the conversion there. So the Stego takes about 203 bullets in order to take him down, but also you have to remember he's got a low health stat compared to your Bronto, so that even though he soaks more bullets, he does not soak as much actual overall damage. Then you've got things such as the Dode, which here it is, 33 bullets originally, and then another 24 after he curls up in a ball. So about 55 total. Again, you do have to remember there will be a saddle. Really not that good for him, so I don't really suggest the Dode at all. The Turtle is 148. Turtle's never been a bad choice, higher on than most. Trites and the Pachyrhino. Pachyrhino is probably a little harder to tame because you have to make bug spray, but Trites are really simple to tame. You can always berry tame them. You got to remember these are all level 1s, and he will soak 117 bullets for you. That's not bad from the front, just facing it, but that means you got to leave it there, which means you could get shot off, so be careful with that one. Then what you got is the Diplo, which soaks a total of about 80 bullets, so about the same as your Bronto here. Not very much. Then you've got, so the Rex takes 52 bullets. The Rock Golem is going to take 850, the whopping 850 he is. So definitely take advantage of that and use that to your advantage if you can tame a couple golems, because they are going to soak up bullets like no other compared to the rest of the dinos. You have the Bear, who takes 100 damage. He goes down pretty quick. He's a bit of a glass cannon. The Giga, which will take 175, so almost not worth doing unless you have just a very low level Giga that you want to waste for 175 bullets. Then you have Callies, or Calicotheriums. They don't take much. Back to the Iguanodon, the Wolves. They're going to take very little themselves, even though they've got damage reductions. They just don't generate that health, so you're looking at 21, 28. Maybe if you bred these things and got some real high health stats, they might be some use, but they really don't have a lot of health stats, so that's kind of what's going on there. I don't really suggest using them. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And you guys take care. I'll catch you next time.